Hey guys, Dave and Anna here. Today we're talking about the new Fantastic Four movie.
Woo.
Alright, so I think this is a movie Anna and I were both really excited to see. Of course, the first two movies were not good at all.
No.
Josh Trank, great director, made Chronicle. We both love Chronicle.
Yeah.
Also a great young cast, Miles Teller, Michael B. Jordan, Kate Mara, Jamie Bell. This movie has a lot of really good stuff in it from the start.
Yeah, and then the reviews started coming out, and we heard a lot of sort of negative stuff, but I think, we often hear negative stuff about superhero movies, and we go, you know what, maybe they just don't understand the characters, maybe they don't really understand what they're seeing, so we still go in thinking, oh, I think we can still really like this. It might be awesome, might be better than everyone's saying.
First off, I really love how this movie sort of stars the Reed Richards character. I feel like in the previous attempts, it was sort of like Start the Universe, and it was sort of
Sometimes
weird.
Dr. Doom.
Exactly, and I felt like in this one, it was about boy genius Reed Richards and his friendship with Ben Grimm, and sort of leading into this project where they basically go into another dimension.
Yeah. What I liked about it is that they actually really did get the character types right.
Yeah.
Reed Richards is a complete genius. He doesn't really have much emotion, He's very focused on the science. They actually focused on the fact that Sue is a real scientist and has something to contribute. Johnny Storm is a really smart guy, but he's more of just sort of, he likes to go off half.
He's a rebel, yeah.
Yeah. And Ben, I don't know.
Ben's just sad.
Yeah.
He's always sad, though, no matter what. And I think the other thing I really liked is the fact that I like how they use their powers in this movie. I think that it made a little more sense overall, especially the way Mr. Fantastic fought, the way that Invisible Woman sort of adapted her powers in combat. I thought were really, really cool.
Yeah, again, it was an understanding of the characters first as the people and then as these fantastic people.
Exactly. But now let's get into the part that's a problem. The part that's a problem with this movie is the fact that it's almost like it should be called the Frustrating Four. Because I feel like this movie sort of felt like a pilot for a superhero TV show.
Yeah.
And then the last 15 minutes were the finale of the first season crammed into one movie. I think that ultimately the issue is that there was a lot of setup, right? And I don't mind that, even though it was really the first two acts were incredibly long.
Yes.
And they were incredibly getting to know the characters, they're working together, long montages of creating scientific equipment. And then it felt like Josh Trank handed in a movie where there was no superhero stuff.
Yeah.
And Fox was like, what's going on? They gotta save the world! And then they just kind of crammed in 15 minutes of let's save the world from Dr. Doom out of nowhere.
Yeah, completely out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's really weird. Now, the reason I'm calling this frustrating is I actually liked about 75% of this movie. I felt like most of it, I was into it. I love the actors. I think Miles Teller was great as Reed Richards.
Totally.
Kate Mara was great. Michael B. Jordan. Everyone was really good. I like that, they were building this idea of, if these characters really existed, the military would try to use them as a weapon. All that stuff I thought was kind of interesting. I do think that it had some promising stuff, and I call it frustrating because it's not as easy as saying this is a bad movie. I think it's one of those movies where, a chef made, this amazing meal, the waiter got on the tray, and then tripped and dropped the meal all over the people. That's kind of what the movie feels like.
And then the very end happens, and I can tell you this without spoiling anything. The last scene made me want to punch the damn screen. It was, first off, the things that they were saying were completely undeserved, there was no reason for them to be as happy as they were.
I think it's more they fell into character archetypes from the original movies that felt unearned. I feel like the big problem is, and this sort of goes back to what I was saying about how it felt like a pilot to a TV show, is it was so much set up for this big franchise they're planning on, but it didn't really stand alone by itself. You think about the first Iron Man, and Marvel sort of made that movie we may never make a movie again, let's leave it all on the field.
Yeah.
And this movie really felt like we're going to take a long time establishing these characters and relationships because you're going to watch the next one later.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know if people will watch the next one. I don't know if people will watch this one.
Yeah, I don't think that people will because it was so boring. There wasn't a plot. There wasn't a story. It wasn't a complete movie.
I mean, there was a plot and a story. It
Not
was just
really.
it was just very simple. Yeah, I don't think it was as bad as you're saying it is. It's just
okay, here's
incomplete.
the thing.
It's a very incomplete movie.
It falls into a lot of the same trappings that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did, but it's not stupid.
That's the thing.
Like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Characters are right.
Yeah.
And, and there's some interesting stuff done, but there's still no story.
That's why it's frustrating. It's not as easy as saying it's some incessantly stupid Michael Bay-esque movie. It's not. It's not as bad as Transformers. It's like in this weird, like, unfinished state where like you get a microwavable meal and you only do it half the time and it's kind of cold, but you can still eat it because you're really hungry, but it should be hotter, but it's not. It's like that. It's a movie. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Let us know in the comments down below if you've seen Fantastic Four and what you think. And if you had one of the powers of Fantastic Four, which one would it be that you'd want? I personally want stretchy powers like Luffy.
It's kind of gross.
It's totally gross. I don't know why I picked that one.
I'd be like Sue Storm. Hers are kind of the best.
She kind of has the best, yeah. Let us know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. And stay fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, totally.